Welcome to the first, and I hope only ever, sit stream, or self-inflicted torture, as I'm going to call it, because I'll be going through some old stories I once wrote and taking them from handwriting into a Word document so I can burn the papers and never review them again, and let the files get lost to the annals of time. If you're wondering why you don't hear sound on the computer, I do actually have a personal playlist that I use whenever I'm working or writing, just playing in the background, and I don't really care for people to hear what I listen to when I work, so you're stuck with my voice. So leave while you still can. And I'm not saying that because of my voice. I'm saying that for what I now have to actually start doing. Because this was written back in high school. I've graduated since then. I've graduated college since then. And I can tell you, whatever I wrote in this is not anywhere near reflective at my current ability. And I probably will go back through here one day and fix this horrible, horrible mistake of my past. But for the time being, try and not bleed from the eyes, because that's in all actual possibility as I begin to write. So, how do I hate myself, and why do I hate myself? Oh my god, what? No, they weren't! Why was I an idiot when I was younger? Fairies were never... Like I said, these are not reflective of my current views, as I have definitely learned since the writing of this garbage. But it needs to be updated so I can get rid of the papers. They are literally just cluttering up my area. And this is, again, completely incorrect, because dragons and fairies don't really come from the same mythology. Oh my god. This is hurting me, and I haven't even wrote, what, 2 sentences? Do I really have to put myself through this? Who is they? Is they the dragon? Is they the fairies? And there was a first writing mistake already. Yeah. That's just how this is gonna go, isn't it? What? No, seriously, what? I hope I don't have to edit each paragraph as I go and I can just crank this out eventually because what? Even for a mythos of a world I created, that's just dumb. Not just like the grammar and the wording, but this is just dumb. And here's my first sign of obsession with that little notation. This is true. Dragons will vehemently disagree with them being weak in any context, for it is the arrogance of dragons. And here's a second handicap I gave myself when I was younger. Paragraphs are way too damn short and don't actually help you at all. Like this next one is barely gonna be a line. Imagine this was supposed to be 15 chapters. I can tell you straight up now, it is barely a chapter. Like, why is this not part of the previous paragraph, me? Imagine, this isn't even a long one I wrote. This is the second longest? I tried revisiting this world once, but that barely lasted. Oh god, this is literally discrediting me as a writer. Yeah, barely a single line for a paragraph. That is... Okay, here's another barely single line. I'm also like writing fast, so I'm not really focusing on typing, because the sooner I get this done, the sooner I'm freed from this hell. Why though? Why do the elves walk away from you? And where the hell is the progression of this? Or, you know, just the gods. I don't have to specify that there are two types of gods. Yes, because talking to gods is as easy as calling them up on their personal cell phone and just having a friendly chat. Even though this never comes back up anywhere in the preceding story, and I have no idea why I'm going to this much length to describe fairies as powerful creatures in probably the worst way possible. You'll see I do a lot of telling and not showing. So I'm sorry about that. Do not take this as actual advice for your writing. Take this as advice as, yeah, don't do this. This is bad. Ooh, yeah, this next sentence kind of hurt, or this next few words, these next couple of words hurt. They hurt somewhere deep. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, see, this is why I said, where the hell is my progression going? Because I go from elves to gods to dwarves. What? That's really... Yeah, no, I could have actually had, like, characters in the stories be an elf, be a dwarf, and they could show this very thing. But no. No, I decided to straight up tell you at the beginning in... Now you people know why I want to burn this. And here I'm trying to be clever. Oh, and so stereotypical dwarf. Actually, okay, I'm going to do this in my actual format. If you want to know why I have red lettering, it's because that's how I tell myself apart, so I need to go back over and edit. So just writing this whole thing in red means I have to re-edit this. Oh, great! Now I decide to break the very monotonous flow by having a new beginning instead of the blank, the blank, the blank. Now I have it. Ask a Goblin. Or Troll. So they're just for some reason why I grouped in. Oh God, and. Man, am I just going with the most stereotypical world? Why? Really do just kind of want to shut up and get through this. Maybe edit this some other time so I can show I'm not this god-awful of a writer. Anyone who watches this stream and knows me is gonna sit there and go, Jake, you didn't honest to God write this. The answer, yes I did. Of course I could disagree with you. Why can't they disagree with you? They would boast about it. Let me see. Why is this not liking the word I wrote? Because I forgot an I. Luckily, those short-ass paragraphs are over, and now I get to what looks like to be a worthy length, though, for any actual writers out there. I start this off with an "and because." So, yes, I can't let you be happy. You must suffer with me. Why would... War had been raged. I think I mean waged? I'm gonna go with waged because that sentence otherwise doesn't make sense. Which you'll find me doing a lot because I actually sucked with spelling worse than what I do now. Oh, wait, me. If the fairy were strongest, the war would be over almost immediately. Because I've said the fairies are the strongest. Am I countering my statement? And why would this simple fact that no one seems to know cause a war? Oh, poor me. Poor me. That's bad. Many of centuries, like with no U, centuries, or centuries ago. There was a drinking game for every time I had horrible grammar or horrible spelling. Y'all would be dead. It was for horrible writing. I would be dead. Again, here's more telling and not showing. Really, the war killed millions. Oh. Oh, just wait till I get my hands back on this. This will be radically different. Why would it never end if the fairies... Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this because I'm gonna have to come back and edit this. But this sentence structure is... Okay, so I get the idea of where this is going. Just to know, I kind of completely forget this story because it's been that long since I've dealt with it. I kind of do remember, but kind of don't remember. Actually, strangely enough, I've been kind of fiddling with this idea until a righted. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of just commas and apostrophes. They're awful. Again, I was in high school, And back in high school, I was gearing towards the science and uh, math side. I did not have any hopes of being a writer. Um, Seeing as this was ninth, 10th grade, I hadn't even written my first actual story for a class, which would be a moment that would change my life when I got that prompt. But of course, I can't use the words I would use nowadays. Who remain to this who to this day is unknown. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna let myself completely write what I wrote because we will all be crying. Really, a writer wrote a book. A writer wrote a book. That is pure gold. And then I start off the next sentence with a vow. Oh, how Word is not gonna like this. So far, it hasn't been upset with any of my grammar structure so far, but it's not gonna like this. Because it's using a paper. I'm not even off the first page, just so you people know. I'm not even off the first page. My word choice is so amazing. Nope. He just... Okay, that actually is a little bit... That's a little bit tongue-in-cheek and a good foreshadowing to the story. But then I immediately destroy it. Son of a bitch! Son of a fucking whore! I'm sorry! I'm like, actually, that's a really good tongue-in-cheek moment if you know what's coming up and who one of the characters is. Nope! I guess myself didn't realize as a younger that wasn't actually that horrible of a line. Then I wrote this line. Which, okay, let me get a little bit let me dive a little bit into mythology. This is actually a Greek-Roman dragon who deals with Apollo, and Apollo kills Python. And where he kills Python, they erect a temple to him. But Python by no means is a dragon as we would think. It potentially is just a very massive snake that was made from the mud of the earth. And that's the first page done. This is all handwritten. And okay, these next few words are going to be complete... Actually, I think I did just randomly. Well, I was taking Latin at the time, so like this could have been just from my Latin class that I got this like wording, but I highly doubt. I highly doubt that, especially since it's possible. Yeah, that right there was a prologue. You know, the thing that's supposed to be as long as a chapter. Yeah, I'm not going to put in the chapter breaks here. I'm just going to double space because there's like 18 chapters in here and there's only maybe 10 pages. I was not good writing and spacing out my chapters. So it was rumor. See, if I had a choice, I wish I could have found my... Yeah, I knew I messed that spelling up. I wish I could have found the third story I wrote back then, because it's a story I definitely wanted to work on, because while it is god-awful, it doesn't have so many of my mistakes as... Again, I have been watching History Channel and Discovery Channel when I wrote some of these. So, I apologize. Ha 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 ha. You see what I'm doing here, right? I'm being clever. Dragons seem to be far more important than fairies, even though I basically state fairies are whatever. I'm arguing with myself from way back when. No shit me. However, I will not give you one example of how things were happening. So I'll just tell you that weird things were happening. And remember these short-ass paragraphs. Okay. I'm definitely changing this up. He will not be on a flight. Was going to be passing over. I'm changing that. Middle of the flight. On its way. Okay. Okay. No, I'm fixing this because that is something I cannot live with. even though I'm supposed to just be rewriting. Because where else would planes land? Strangely enough, this occurrence of Japan was just so happened to not coincide with anything else than it's what the Dragon's Triangle is close to. In any other work you will find me do on, Japan is unironically used because I have a deep love for Japan. Oh, and if you're gonna call me a weeaboo, I'm gonna tell you straight up now, haha, don't use such weak terminology on me. I am greater than a weeaboo. If Japan was a woman, I'd probably want to date her. Because I am a Japanophile. I love the culture, I love the people. I love the atmosphere, I love the nature, I love... Well, when I say nature, I mean like the mountainous areas. I love that. I love the way the forest looks, even though I am deeply, deeply afraid of the one forest in Japan. It's the one Logan Paul visited, and I hate bringing up that man's name, but you know what? Well, I'm doing this because I don't have anything better to talk about. So, the reason why I'm actually deeply afraid of that woods is because I have been suicidal in my past. And of the many legends I have read, even though it's not called third class, it's called business, I think. I'll have to do research on that because, you know, authors don't ever research, they just know. Don't ever look at our search history when we're writing. We literally look like terrorists, investigative journalists, forensic scientists, and amateur explorers? But then terrorists again. Because we all need to know how to make a bomb when we write. Anyways, getting back to the forest, I know very much about Okigahara. Or Akigahara, wherever... Aokigahara, however you want to say it. Pretty sure it's Akigahara. Which is also known, yes, as... Why did I put his name in parentheses? That's dumb. Yeah, that sentence is going to be retooled. Okay, this right here... Why do the high-ups matter? I don't... They honestly... Yeah, no, there was a whole plane full of passengers. But, yeah, let's... I'm getting distracted. But I'm going to say this quickly. Back then, I didn't understand the concept of show, don't tell. And you're about to see me write a basic police sketch of a character. Don't do this if you're a writer. By God, do not take this as an example. This is one way of instantly saying you don't know how to write a story. Never write a police report or sketch or anything like that unless you're police having to actually do this. or a cop actually having to do this. Will probably just be one of the paragraphs I delete. Anyways. Do I really write out inches? Yes, I don't write out feet, but I write out inches. That is dumb. This is one long run. Anyways, getting back to Akigahara. I know of the Force, and I know I can never actually look at because there are several legends saying that if you ever were suicidal once in your life, the Force will drag you into the pits of despair. Even those who have never thought about suicide or have suicidal tendencies or have anything along those lines, never felt depression, have a very good life, a very general disposition, will look into that Force and almost be compelled to want to have thoughts of suicide. It is a horrific place. I hate media, and I hate, I'm gonna tell you now, Logan Paul for not giving that place respect, because it not just is an actual problem, like a legitimate problem in Japan, it's the only place in Japan I actively fear. And I know about the, okay, this does not say I read on. I can't talk about Okigahara because it actually sometimes chokes me up just because of how much I know. It's not fun to talk about. See, I could have completely undid all, like, I could legitimately get rid of that entire description for my next line. Because people know what you mean by the look of a tourist. I'm just already exacerbated from having to redo this. Granted, I didn't have much pride when I first wrote this. I was writing this because I needed to. A part of me was itching to start writing, to start telling a story, to do something. I legitimately, again, another moment of, show or tell, don't show, coming from me. instead of proving he was intelligent through his deeds and his actions and various situations where he has to think his way out, and yes, because you can totally get a PhD in this. For any of those wondering why this is a thing, again, the PhD is because I'm telling, not showing, because I suck at writing when I wrote this. But it was also because I did no research. I was just writing. You could call that anthropology, you could call that archaeology, you could call that a whole bunch of things. You could call that folklore. But what it is bad. That's what it is. But this was actually in a stage where I personally was trying to learn more about Japanese mythology. I know like 98% of Greek and Roman myth, and even when I hear a new one, I vaguely can pick up on aspects that come from other stories or repeated phrases, or like, you call that Roman, but that's technically Greek. Or that's technically Greek, but you're using Roman names. And yes, again, short ass paragraphs. I know that the majority of those stories were also propaganda. I've learned a lot in my time in college. A lot of my college time was also spent, spent learning how to write. Something I'm clearly not showing now. My God. This is painful. This is legitimate torture. If I ever end up in a Saw movie, he's basically gonna say, I want you to write a single page of an old story you wrote without complaining once. In the original Sorry about that. Is that how you actually spell that? Intercompany. Is that how you spell intercom? Help sales. I guess that is how you spell intercom. I can tell you, I did not spell it right in the original context. In the original paper, that was intercom. But you could probably have guessed that from how bad this is. You just have to use a stereotypical line, otherwise it doesn't. Hello, his is your. Otherwise, this isn't possible. I cannot wait to get back into this and actually begin reworking and retooling. Because I have already come up with some Sorry, did I spell that horrible? Yes, your captain. Not captain, captain. Sorry, that's going to be happening a lot when I just look at what I wrote and I'm like, did I honestly write that? I don't even remember what I was speaking about. That's how much it... Oh yeah, I have great plans for this already. And deleting most of it is probably the first step. Here's the other thing about this. The captain would never say, hey, we are passing over the middle of the Dragon's Triangle, because that's just open sea. There's bloody nothing to look out the window. The captain only rarely does that if they have a particularly good view of something. And you know what? I've flown over the Grand Canyon. Yeah, no, they didn't tell us to look out the window. Oh, there's the Grand Canyon. So, the only time I remember the captain ever saying, hey, look out your window, is when I was flying to Cancun, and as we were descending and getting to the airport, with where we were located, he could say, if you look out to your left-hand side, you will be facing the Atlantic Ocean. Looking out to your right-hand side, you'll see the Gulf of Mexico. And it was kind of that like idea that that's where we were, just so he could give us a general sense of like, we weren't over one body or another with a few islands. No, we were like right on that line. Also, this is going to drastically change because plane crashes, yeah, not something good to write about. I mean, I was insensitive when I was younger, but this is something I might not want to touch. I was gonna say. Because you can do that from inside the plane. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. There was like 20 things I could have said there. All of them better than what I wrote. All of them. And you can all guess what I'm now going to write, because this is blatantly obvious. Because of course it was gone. It's always gone. You always have to do a double take, and it's not there. Okay. I hate this next slide, because this is a relic of my writing. Instead of trying to... I'm gonna fix something right now. Technically it should be he rubbed his eyes. Instead of trying to explain something a little bit more thoroughly, I just make a reference. That's page 2. Would drop. It would not do what I'm about to go write. It would take an immediate nosedive. Yep. Knew this was coming. God damn it. The force will basically cause panic instantly amongst the cabin, but no, everyone's just going to sit here like they were an airplane. You know, just calmly reading, writing, looking out the window at the ocean that's clearly approaching way too fast, and not freaking out that the engines just burst into flames. The force of the wind? So, I'm going to write this just so you can see what I had originally wrote, just so you can understand how bad this draft is. Yeah. This is what is in the draft. Ripped. I want to leave that. I want to leave that word because that is the pinnacle so far of my horrible writing. Ripped. That should be the title of this book. Ripped. Oops. Is it then? Yeah, then. Because no raison. Okay. Remember how I was saying stuff about I do a lot of telling and not showing? This is a great example of one of these moments. It will come up later when he's looking through a cabinet, which is iconically one of the scenes that has stuck in my memory because of how awful I wrote it. But this is one of those moments where instead of letting the reader's mind fill in the result of a plane just stopping in mid-air because the engines have gone up, there's no forward thrust, there's no longer lift underneath the wings, what the plane will naturally do. No. I write this out verbatim to tell you exactly how this plane would eventually just plummet. Honestly, if I wasn't somewhat of an editor now, more than I am a just straight up writer, I would not be doing this because I wouldn't be able to stomach it. But now I can actually look at this and see, like, what can be improved. The whole thing. Why did I make a comma? Why is there a bloody comma? Oh my god. This is hands down awful. This is legitimately garbage. At the moment, I'm keeping it, but it should be at that moment. Yeah, it's supposed to be at that moment. Don't know why at the moment, at that moment. Let me guess. Broke up. Oh, no. This is writing mistake number 2 that you will see me do. Oh. I just noticed that. For anyone who is watching, I am sorry. I don't know why it did that. Why is it currently... No? There we go. That was strange, and I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be saying stuff about that. Because, just, that moment, the plane, where was it? At that moment, the plane hit the... No, that is supposed to be the... Wow, my past self actually wrote that better. Fuck that guy. At the moment, the plane... English! English for you people! English done poorly. But this is the second trope of mine. You will see happen quite a lot. Because I didn't know how to progress. Even though almost immediately, like, there's no dream sequence, there's nothing that happens. Yeah, no. Yeah, see, even I agree with that. Even I agree with that change that we're just saying, this is what you mean, right? No, it's better than what I wrote, so no. Oh my god. So, you guys can't see this because I'm looking at the original script. The paragraph after the one I'm about to write is hilarious because this only occasionally happened, but I was writing at such a frantic pace, my spacing gets off. And you can just see this slow, like, curve away from the margin. It is actually kind of hilarious and it happened several other times. So it's just this is the first obvious moment of all my writing so far where you could see how my handwriting just slowly started messing up. But moving on with the actual writing. Man, I really wish I had the other story because yeah, this is a Trapped in Another World series. Granted, I wrote this before that was like even a franchise I knew about in anime. I'm not gonna lie. uh The urgency in this following paragraph is mind-boggling. Like, this is honest to God mind-boggling. You know, by this point, the plane's crashed in water, and yet he just calmly tries to get out of his seat. Thank you, word. Safety! Yes! For anyone who cares, yes, there will be a rewrite of this. This conversion has made me almost 100% sure that I cannot leave it in this state, that only by reworking this can I save my face as a writer and a dungeon master, because this is mind-boggling. I knew it was bad back then, and I knew there was a no, that's how the original draft has it, word. Of course he would still be buckled! What the crap? He's trying to get out of his seat! What the? Oh my god! Did I honest to God write that? Of course he would still be freaking buckled in! He's trying to get out of his goddamn seat! And then, just as quickly as he's trying to get out of his seat and he realizes, I'm still in my seat, he unbuckles his seat like that. He just undoes it. Simple. Easy. No problems. No questions. Just... Oh, unbucked himself is actually what I wrote. He unbucked himself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man, am I sorry for whoever. Oh, nope, not a question. Good. It looks like I erased a question mark there. Before you are asking, no, he is not on a stranded island, even though that is very clearly what this line makes it seem. He is not, in fact, on a beach. This is a moment where I don't have an apostrophe or a comma, which I kind of need a comma. Because you can spit sand out of somewhere else. Again, another place I needed a comma. Yes, Oxford commas are important. If anyone says, do I need an Oxford comma here? Legitimately read where they're asking, because sometimes they're not making a list and therefore they don't need the Oxford comma. But if they're making a list and they don't have an Oxford comma, correct that person. Be the grammar Nazi. Because the Oxford comma is by far one of the most important things that tell me if you actually know how to write. Because if you're not using the Oxford comma, you don't know how to frickin' write a list, and therefore, do you know how to write anything at all? Yes, I am passionate about the Oxford comma. It's the only time when I see something in formal writing that doesn't have an Oxford comma that will immediately cause me to denounce who is ever writing this. And if they used it in the past and it's like, oh, this was just clearly a typo, that's fine. But if I see them constantly missing the Oxford comma, even if they're like Shakespeare or J.K. Rowling or Stephen King or someone like them, I will immediately denounce them, because at least I have the Oxford comma, and that was just a typo. Because I would not have forgotten the Oxford comma. There's my rant about the Oxford comma. And that's how you can tell I'm a true writer. I will rant about the Oxford comma. Or wait, is that how you tell I graduated with an English degree? Or a bachelor's in English? I'm saying English degree, it's a bachelor's in English. I'm not in college, it's not a degree anymore. Yep, nope, I knew it would not like that word. It doesn't like that word. Yeah, it wants to know, that's why. That's right. I knew that. Hey, I only got slightly better. I never said I actually am a great author. I still make mistakes. Especially when it comes to the word where and were. Anyone who's read my writing to proofread it knows I have a problem with and were, or where and were. I have a problem with where and were. No, I can't give myself that much credit. I have to write out what I wrote. Is there any? Wow. I just said I have to give myself, like, less credit than what I was going to write naturally. But that's even less than that. If anyone is still alive. Is anyone alive? If so, say something. If you're not alive, please respond as well and clarify that You're not alive! It is very important that if you have died in a plane crash and someone is looking for survivors, that you clearly voice yourself so that they know that you did not survive. It is common courtesy. And here's another writing mistake I made. Yeah, where the hell did this bush come from? I know where this bush is. It's in the garden. The plane wreckage is in a garden. But I've never once set up the setting for this scene, which is something you might see very common in my old writing. Again, like I said, I do a lot more telling than showing. Okay, I'm gonna read slightly ahead. Just to make sure I have the right case here. Jump around. No, that should be he jumped. That's not even the right verb I would want to use. That's not even the right verb right there I want to use. He spun around, he whipped around. No, he jumped around and he started doing jumping jacks around the plane wreck. Now, I know I want to say here, but I am going to check that I'm saying the right... Yes. That is in fact what I wanted to say. I couldn't trust myself after having seen what I've written so far. So, I am now deciding to write the setting. Now I am deciding to write the setting. A jungle forest. You know what? I gotta stop. Otherwise, I will never make it through. Because, yes, a jungle forest. I mean, this is kind of strange because he was just over water, but you're not going to see him react to this much, except for having his jaw drop. See, where was I? Wait, do I legitimately... Oh my god! Oh my god! You know, if you say it one time and it's not correct. then clearly the way you make it correct is by saying it again, just slightly different. Oh my god. Don't ask. It's what I wrote. Then I'm not asking anymore. Oh, and yes, I know, my case usage in this is atrocious because I am jumping between past and future or present, and it's awful. It is. Trust me, if anyone have read this, if I would have read this before reading Alice in Wonderland and knew, oh, yeah, before if I had reread this or retyped this out before I read Alice in Wonderland, I would have probably not been a writer. The only reason why he knows it's a who is because I was writing the story and I knew it was a person myself. But just to make sure, I have whatever. Yeah, you'll also see I'm not ending quotations. I don't know why. I'm leaving an ellipsis. So he just holds out that, never actually posing the question or posing the command. Hey, this is 600 words so far. That's not actually bad. Granted, my typical page paper for college, by the end I could get down was 7 pages, and that was just me writing. Let's see, come out whenever he was... Ah, yes, he was cut off because, you know, throw caution to the wind! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm going to now attempt to add description. But not meaningful description. No, it can't be meaningful description. That would be too new in order for me to write. Oops, I already wrote could. Could make a... Oh my god, my descriptions. Like, legitimately, my descriptions make me cry on the inside. Fun fact, though, if someone were to give this to me as a legitimate story, I would sit them down and basically go over rather than like go as harsh as I'm going on myself, which is only because I know I wrote this myself. Warning, love interest, warning, love interest, warning, love interest. Because I couldn't think of a better way of writing or making it clear who the love interest of this story is meant to be. Not his, it's the tone that made his heart. That made his heart beat faster. Or no, beat. Oh my god, I'm not being subtle anymore. Okay, I thought that word I wrote was C-E-A-N. No, it's just C-A-N. God. People... I'm not gonna lie. The experience right in me loves that juxtaposition of a very lovely, elegant, soothing voice that makes one's heart beat ever so faster, as though one has experienced first love. What does this voice say? They're all dead, Jim! Man. I thought, yeah, no. That as the experience right on me, that's something I'm going to keep. I wanted to change that, but that is hilarious to me. That this voice he literally is falling in love with, his first words were, they're all dead! Oh god. Yes! Technically speaking, this is where chapter 2 would begin. I told you, these aren't very well designed. These are too short. These were all handwritten, and even as handwriting, they're way too short. The person, or the scholar in me, wants to quote this the way I wrote it in, like, I'll just do this quickly. Schuler 2. Yes! I'll add the bibliography later. That would be an interesting story if it required you to have quotes. No. A woman? No. Please don't look into this statement. I was really stupid. I could not have... Oh my god, another police report I have to write. The other bad part about this, I can't apparently keep consistent, because here I wrote the abbreviations for both of them instead of abbreviating feet and then not abbreviating inches, but this next line, I want it to be clear, hurts. It hurts. Oh god, that... Oh god. Oh, that's right. No, this is still going on. Her description is still going on because this is a police report, and as such, love. Ah. So I wrote that entire description solely for the purpose of the reader. I'm not writing what I wrote. No, I refuse as who I am to write exactly what I wrote. I am planning on editing this either way, but this, no, that is not something I am going to write. So now I have to think of a better way of writing this. I even tried to be a little bit subtle in the original, but no. Not doing it. Fuck it, I'm gonna go simple. Just so you guys can understand what I wrote and what I'm willing to rewrite. Yes, sexism. It was apparently still in my writing back then. And it's taken a bloody long time for me to overcome. Of course she would notice that. You know what? No, I'm not gonna write the rest of this paragraph for the most part. No, no. This is below me. This is straight up below me. This is not okay. This is not something I want to show people that I wrote when I was younger. It's not something I would write now. It is completely inappropriate. It is completely not okay. And it is not something I'm going to write. So allow me a little bit of creative freedom of writing what I should have wrote. And that is all. I am now returning to what I have actually written. Yeah, no, I'm now again taking liberties because fuck it, no I'm not. And I'm disgusted with what I wrote, and that's why I changed it. I'm not gonna do that. I have to rewrite this. God, that last part just sickens me. If I ever had to meet my younger self, I would punch him. And I have a feeling... Mother... This at least is not as bad. This at least is not as bad as what I originally wrote. Yeah. No, that's how I wrote it in the paper. This has now actually become legitimately painful. What did I think? I was witty or something? Because I cannot clearly give you a good description of where he is. Because honestly, I don't even know anymore. Because not even I know anymore. I honestly don't know. I'm just writing the words. Actually, I have the perfect character. Yep, I know how I'm gonna change this story. I'm gonna add Lucci. And for those of you who have no idea what that means, that's a good thing. I don't need her to be this way. Because I could have more fun writing her as someone else. I'm also now getting lost. Okay. So I don't actually know what this means. Or why. Man, am I really putting my worst foot forward. I'm actually kind of curious how many pages this will be. So I am trying to just do this. Uh, because you're supposed to know what that means. Is this actually painful? Jungle forest. Remember, this is a jungle forest. This is by far the best sentence in this. It is so descriptive, it is so helpful, it makes so much sense. A huge green rock. That is a fragment. That is a fragment if I have ever... No, it's a huge green rock. Don't let this next part fool you. It's a huge green rock. Because you can't mistake a huge green rock for an emerald. No, it's not even her who says it, it's Charles. Damn, Charles. Do you not know that it's just a huge green rock? I think I actually had written this on the coattails of my 4th playthrough of Pokemon Emerald, and that's why Emerald made it. Which is normally weird because I don't do a lot of gemology. This is, honest to God, an actually good response. Even though you have no idea why this huge green rock is special. So they've been having a back and forth. At this moment, they've been having a back and forth in paragraph format. What the hell is this next part, then? You know the correct way of doing it? Actually, I think this is a common mistake I'll do quite often, where conversations Again, I'm writing this all out, so... Yeah, just to make you aware, she has not revealed her name. It's not a good name. Yeah, no, she reveals. Let's just hope my one friend never sees this. Yeah, no. I wrote that as one word in the original script. Wow, she is kind of a bitch before, but then she gets very cordial, sorry. Use the correct words. Can anyone tell how much pain I am in writing this? Seriously? Seriously. Can anyone tell how much pain I am in? This is... Again, I am writing what I wrote. So, yeah. You guys know that by now. Man, I'm not gonna lie. My second draft of this is going to be, well, third, because I've already had to edit this draft. Because... Because there was no way in hell I'm writing that one line. Oh god. That is page 3 of this. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 more pages. I have 23 more pages. Looks hopeful. Why do I hate myself? Ugh. Hey, at least back then, even I could. Back then, I used to also be able. Yeah, no, I agree, but that's not how I wrote it. Yes, it was eggs all along. A very distinctive smell when you cook them. Oh, oh no, that's said with emphasis. Great emphasis. Yep, another moment of him blacking out. Yeah, I like always begin conversations in paragraph format. I really just want to get this done so I can start editing it. I have a lot of fun things ahead for this story. A reworking of the beginning, what the hell? That's not something anyone would say. Seriously, that's not something anyone would. I hate this. I frickin' hate this. Why did I decide this would be a good idea for a stream? Actually, yeah, no, I'm inserting that because that's my favorite punctuation. This makes no sense why she is retorting with this. He is not really having a conversation here. What the fuck did I write? Yeah, no, I agree. I don't even remember this bloody character. I am copying this word from... Yeah. Thank you, Word, for correcting my awful spelling. Haha, tricked you. Again, I apologize for that. It was not in the original draft, and as such, I will take any criticism for that. That was me just writing really quickly. Again, why is this not in the conversation format? Man, I have a lot of fun things going forward for this. This prompt isn't bad, but this story is god awful. There was so little creativity in this. Like, so bloody little creativity. Why don't you like is my name R Ordo? What? Even I don't think that's correct. Whoa, where? What are you? I'm a dragon and my name is Ordo Sildo. Again, this is far more conversational. And I love how we don't give a police report on Ordo. Why is he speaking Latin and horrible Latin at that? This dragon is dumb. Why did I write the dragon this way? Why did they write him as a dragon? He could be a troll. That could be fun. A troll who speaks fluent Latin. Yeah. In your tongue. Or in your language. I just want to get this done and over with. So I can come back and edit this. Why does it keep... No, it's Frementum. Yeah, why, if this is a conversation, do I have it in a paragraph format? I wish I could say consistent. I wish I could say freaking consistent. This is annoying. So this is technically, yes, this is technically where chapter 4 began. There's not even a full page of chapter 4. Like, seriously. Yes, it is that poorly written, but that is 4 pages for the most part. And there's a lot I want to change in this that will actually make it a pretty fun story when I'm done. But I still have 20 pages to go through. I'm going to be taking a break here. I will be back on, but I will not be talking because I just need to crank through this. So if I can put more focus in my writing, then that's good, because it means I can get through some of this faster. I do improve, I think I improve as I continue forward. I'm not sure. That last paragraph has me annoyed because I never did crap like that in my writing. I knew how to write a conversation, so I'm surprised that either I was in a rush or I was in a place that I had to write really quickly and couldn't do the spacing out I want. But yes. So for now, I'm calling this end of part 1 of Self-Inflicted Torture. And it is truly self-inflicted torture.